joining us for Tuesday's word for today. We're looking today at Acts chapter 10, verse 34. We sometimes think maybe God has favorites or that somebody else is good enough or we're not. We compare ourselves amongst ourselves, and the Bible tells us it's just not wise to compare ourselves amongst ourselves. God has given to every man the measure of faith. So you have the same measure of faith in you that everybody else has. And that measure of faith is God's faith. But in Acts chapter 10, verse 34, we'll go to Romans chapter 2, verse 11 first. For there is no respect of persons with God. God doesn't look at one person higher than the other. God looks on the heart. God looks on the heart of every person. We see that when Samuel was going through Jesse's sons to look for another king. And he thought the oldest, the best looking, the tallest would be it. And he kept going through. But it was the youngest, the boy that was out in the sheep field looking after the sheep. God looked at the heart. And it says that he had a heart after God. So God looks at your heart, not at what you've done, not at your past, not at your own natural abilities, but he looks on your heart. He's not a respecter of persons. And we can go to Acts chapter 10 here, where the Jews only had received the Holy Spirit and were born again. But now in verse 34, it says, Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. Cornelius, and some say that Cornelius was the centurion at the foot of the cross. But a centurion, a Roman, received Jesus and was filled with Holy Spirit. God looks on the heart. He's not a respecter of persons. Don't let your past determine your future. And we might say, my past is before I got born again. If you missed God yesterday, don't allow that to stop you from moving forward with God today. Your past is 5 minutes ago. Don't let that, if you missed it, don't let that determine your future. God looks on your heart and continue to move forward.